welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Sophia and I'm so happy to have you here today. Today's video is going to be different. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited to film this for you guys. I'm going to be doing a full makeup routine, like going out makeup, while also chatting about my birth control story, which I'm sure many of you might be familiar with from me sharing it on TikTok, on Instagram, different various platforms. And I really wanted to kind of go really in depth and be able to bring it to YouTube and do like full birth control story here, because obviously TikTok, you're limited to like 3-minute videos, so I can only spew so much at that time. But before we get into all of the fun stuff that we're going to chat about today, all the girly things, I do want to preface this first. I am not a doctor. I'm not a gynecologist. I am nobody to tell you what to do with your own body. I am simply in this video just sharing my own birth control experience, my side effects, my symptoms, and my journey getting off birth control and everything like that. For those of you who have gone through a similar journey, maybe there might be, similar experiences that we share. And I don't want this to like scare anybody off of birth control. I don't want any of that. I am simply just sharing with you guys my story. So I just wanted to start off saying that first, do what's best for your body. And as I always say, do your research, talk to your doctor or gynecologist when it comes to any type of stuff to do with your reproductive organs and your reproductive system, and do what's best for you. Do what's best for you at the end of the day. So with all that being said, let's get into it. All right, I've got my little beauty mirror here. I don't know if you guys can see it, kind of the corner lights. Hopefully you guys can see my makeup too. I'm not really sure how this is gonna turn out, but anytime I do my makeup with nowhere to go, it always turns out amazing, which is so fun how that works out. Like, I just got a blowout and I'm gonna do a full beat to my face and nowhere to go on a Saturday night. Woo, that's my life in a nutshell. But first we're gonna start off with pinning our hair back with these really crappy Amazon things. Honestly, I don't like them. I have too much hair for this to like really work well, but it does the job for what it needs to do. When it comes to my face, first starting off, let me just like preface my whole makeup routine first, because I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to multitask. I'm probably gonna forget to show you guys products, but I start off with a clean face. I just cleaned it with the hydrating facial cleanser from CeraVe, and I don't put any moisturizer or anything on it. I used to put moisturizer on before I put my foundation and stuff on, but I never found that my foundation like sat well. It like really was splotchy and really bad. So I just start off with a crystal clean face, and I just got the glowy makeup serum from Laneige. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce them. I am obsessed with this. I've been using it for 2 to 3 weeks, and every single time I've used it, it makes my makeup look so freaking good. Best primer. I think this is the best spring and summer primer. It is not too like glowy, but it's the, I think, perfect serum. So I first start off with just a little bit of that and spread that all over my face, especially like in my T-zone, and also gotta throw the hair back underneath my eyes. I definitely love using a serum underneath my eyes because it makes my concealer just sit so much better than before when I would use like nothing under there, So that is all set in place there. Now I really want to kind of go over my makeup routine really quickly and kind of run through the products first, so I'm not catching myself chatting and not showing you guys products, because that's the whole point of this video. So first gonna start off with Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury shade 3, and then I mix Fenty Beauty shade 200 and Hydromaniac shade 30 Light together to mix my foundation Love. It's amazing. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. And then I use Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I don't know if you guys can see it. Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have one lighter shade, Creme Brulee, and then one darker shade for when I'm tan. Cafe au Lait, I think is how you pronounce it. So I have these 2 shades. I then go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. This is just shade Fair Medium. And I just got the Sephora 79 brush. This is a Pro Contour brush. I used to dab my like makeup or this on, and it would look horrible. Like I would leave it dry too long on this end while I'm blending and it wouldn't blend very well. So I got this from Sephora and I just dabbed the end of it, and it is a game changer. Like you look perfectly airbrushed when you use like a little contour one instead of like dabbing it on your face. Then I'll go in with e.l.f. Halo Primer. I will just kind of put a little bit of this powder underneath my eyes, kind of like around my smile lines here, just anywhere where I feel like it's a little bit more wrinkly to set it in a little bit. Then I'll go in with Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer shade 3, and I will use this with Pro Bronzer number 80 from Sephora that I just got obsessed with this. Then my blush, which my mom's gonna watch this. I stole this from you, Mom, like 5 years ago. But this is Sephora Colorful, super old. You could tell by the packaging. It's very much updated now, but this is shade Heated N16. The most gorgeous blush in the world. Do you see how sparkly that is? Like, so pretty. And then this is the Morphe M405 brush that I use for blush. And then I'll go in with Soft Glam from Anastasia. I love this. I don't really do too much eye makeup, especially when I go out, but I really like this palette. It works well with my blue eyes. And then I have Morphe 441 and Morphe 433 for just some brushes that I use. Me, a makeup guru. And then finally I finish off with just a little bit of Anastasia brow gel to fluff my brows. I have extensions, eyelash extensions I mean. I also have hair extensions, but I have eyelash extensions, so I don't do anything to my lashes, luckily. So that is the breakdown of all my makeup. I'll finish with All Nighter from Urban Decay, and that's all I do pretty much. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I'll do lip at the very end with you guys and kind of go over my lip combo, but that's like a brief overview of my makeup. So now let's get to chatting. It makes me feel better that like we went over my makeup, because I was thinking too, I was like, honestly you guys, I've been a little nervous to film this because I'm like, how am I gonna multitask this video? Like, pressure's on because this is YouTube, you know what I mean? So you guys get the gist. But let's dive into the story. So I need to tuck my hair behind my ear. Got on birth control around my freshman year of high school, when I was like 14, 15 years old, like freshman, sophomore year of high school, before I was sexually active, because I had a super heavy flow. Runs in the family, but absolutely insane heavy flow. I also have a wet beauty blender that I blend pretty much everything with. So that was something my mom and I decided to do. I was like, it's just too much. I was anemic. I was like, okay, let's do this. So got on just regular pill, generic pill, when I was 14, 15. And I was on that for about 4 years and I loved it. For almost 5 years. I was on it actually, yeah, from freshman year of high school until freshman year of college. And I had no issues with it. It kind of cleared up any acne that I had. It worked great with my body. I never had any scares. I was really good about taking my pill. I took it at 8:30 p.m. every single night, pretty much for 5 years straight. But yeah, I loved that until I think my body started to kind of reject the pill. So about 3/4 of the way through my freshman year of college, I started, during one of my cycles, this can be a lot of TMI too as well, but during one of my cycles, I started blood clotting, like blood clots coming out of me, like size of golf balls, like coming out of me. And I knew that wasn't normal. So I was a little bit concerned. You know, I know that's kind of normal, maybe to a little bit of an extent, going in for my foundation now, but I was like, this is not right. So I called my gynecologist and they didn't really have like too much of an explanation besides the fact that they're like, maybe your body's just rejecting this birth control, but you would be a perfect candidate for an IUD. So I was like, perfect. I was like, I don't care, like anything that can help me. Like if you think that that's what's best, absolutely. Like I'm down for that, because I was like bleeding for like two weeks, and it was like, it was really bad to the point where like I couldn't work out. I couldn't really move. So I flew home a couple of days later and I got the Mirena IUD in, almost like at the end of my freshman year of college. And let me tell you, the first year and a half of using the Mirena IUD was a dream. It was a dream. I loved it. It was amazing. I was like, I don't have to take the pill anymore. It was like, I very much trusted it. I loved it. It worked really well with my body at first. I was like, this is just like amazing, especially in college. Like taking the pill got a lot harder in college, and I was like, this removes kind of that factor. It was very trustworthy for me. I had no crazy side effects. When I got it in, it didn't really hurt that bad. I have a super high pain tolerance. So yeah, it was kind of like, ooh, like a little bit of a pinch, but I was walking out of there a couple minutes later. I know that it does hurt a lot more for other people. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it did hurt a little bit, but it wasn't something that was like intolerable for me. So anyways, got it in, year and a half. It was amazing. Cleared up any acne that I had again, worked great. Mental health was fine. No issues there. Until I started having a lot of health issues. And I mean like a lot. I don't even know if I'm going to get emotional during this because I don't think I've like fully talked about in depth my entire birth control story. So basically I just became really sensitive down there. So I started to get UTIs, frequent UTIs, which I was like, okay, like I know I got UTIs in high school. Like, you know, that's kind of normal for me. Nothing too bad. But my, UTIs would transform into a bladder infection, straight into a kidney infection within like a 24-hour time span. Usually it takes like a week or two for that to happen. But with my body, I was from when I felt that stinging pee, I was like kidney infection the next day. That's how bad my body reacted to those types of things. So that was obviously not fun to go through. And that happens like occasionally, but the real issue that I started having was the fact that I got reoccurring BV. And for those of you guys who don't know what BV is bacterial vaginosis. And I had BV ongoing, recurring for about 6 months. And my main side effect of, or symptom of BV was the fact that I smelled like fish down there. And it was horrible. It was mortifying. I would be at work and I would be able to smell myself at work. It was one of the worst experiences I've probably ever gone through. And that was really kind of the start of the long journey ahead. So when I would get the BV medication, it would give me a yeast infection. Whether I did the like vaginal insert or whether I took just the pills, it would always give me a yeast infection, which is a common side effect that happens with BV medication. So I literally was like BV to yeast infection to a week or two being fine, straight back to BV to yeast. It was a 6-month period. So that made me feel so insecure down there. And it really affected my mental health and affected my relationship because I felt so uncomfortable with my body. And that took a long time for me to kind of recover from that. But once I kept getting BV, I talked to my doctors and I was like, what is going on? And they're just like, oh, like you just have recurring BV. Like it happens sometimes, like no big deal. And mind you, I didn't know any of this had to do with my birth control, my IUD, which I will get to eventually, but I had no idea what was going on. I had tests run on my kidneys. I had my reproductive systems like checked out. Everything was fine. Like there was no issues really that they could find. So I'm like, what is happening to my body? Like I have nothing to blame right now and I don't know what's happening. And then fast forward, so I was struggling with that for like 6-7 months. Then beginning of quarantine, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning to excruciating pain. I mean, like I passed a kidney stone in high school. I got an IUD in. I've obviously haven't had a child yet, so I can't compare to that. But one of the most painful like experiences ever, and like I told you, my pain tolerance is really high, but I had an ovarian cyst burst that landed me in the ER. I was dry heaving because of how much pain I was in, and like I said, that for me is like very much a new experience because like I said, my pain tolerance is really high. So I had that happen, and again, I didn't know why. I was like, this is weird. I've never had issues with this before. It doesn't really run in my family, like very weird. So I'm just going to be taking this, what I was talking about earlier with the contour, just take it and dab it on here and watch the magic happen. Like, look at how much nicer that goes on as opposed to dabbing it. Yeah, you guys need to do this. Anyways, so I go, fast forward to my senior year of college. I came to a point where I was so uncomfortable with my body. I didn't even know who I was anymore. I felt like it was me versus my body instead of me and my body. I completely lost my sex drive. I lost my libido, which a lot of the questions that you guys had was like sex drive. So I lost my sex drive completely. And again, didn't know why. But for me, that's when I knew something was really wrong, because I am and always have been down to have fun. Like I have never had issues with that before. Never. I never had issues with that. I've always been a curious girl. Like I've always been just like, you guys get the deal. So that's when I knew, I'm like, all right, something's seriously wrong. Like there's no way I'm 20. I was like 21 at that point. And like, there's no way I'm 21 and losing my sex drive. Like this is not happening to me. So I one day typed in to Google and I searched like low sex drive, libido lost. And one of the first articles that I read had to do with the fact that women who are on birth control can, for like long periods of time too, are finding out like they're losing their sex drive. And when I tell you I went down the most rabbit hole of the internet, I literally was reading articles, forums, blog posts, research, everything for literally like 2 hours straight. I was like up until midnight. And I was like, I had this whole realization. I was like, holy shit. Like the reason all of this is going on is because of my Mirena IUD. So I looked it up with Mirena IUD. This is just the research that I did. Recurring BV, ovarian cysts, and loss of sex drive. And I was like, if that isn't me to a T, I don't know what is. So I called my mom and I was like, okay, this is the research that I've done. This is what's going on. And she's like, all right, well, if you feel like you need to get it removed, then get it removed. So again, like that week, called my doctor. I was like, I want to get my IUD removed. I got my IUD removed, which wasn't super painful. They just kind of like pop it out. And that was the start of my getting off birth control journey. I tried to go on the pill for about a month, and I went through one cycle of the pill, and I started my next month. And you guys, when I tell you, poor Nash, that I was so up, down, I was emotional, I was triggered, I was angry. I had so many emotions, so many severe high highs and severe low lows that I was like, I literally didn't even feel like myself. I told Nash, I remember breaking down to him one day, I was like, I don't even know who I am. Like, I don't feel like myself. I don't feel right. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I called my mom, breakdown. My mom probably remembers this. She's going to watch this and be laughing now. It's not funny, but, and I was just like, I have no sex drive. I don't know what to do. I don't even feel like myself. I don't know what to do. My mom's like, well, why don't you just get off birth control? Why don't you just stop taking it? And I was like, all right, I'm going to stop taking it. So I was about like a week into my new pill. Also, you guys, look at how good the bronzer goes on when you have this. You need to do it. And she was like, okay, so get off birth control. I was like, all right, fine. Threw out my pill. I literally just threw it in the garbage. Threw out the rest of my pills. So I was about a week in to my second month when I threw it out. And that was the official start of my non-hormonal birth control story. So let's chat about me getting off birth control now. All right, so now we're getting into me getting off birth control, all my side effects, all my symptoms, all those different things. But first, pause before I do that. What is a really good cream blush? Can somebody please let me know? I'm looking for a good one. I know Rare Beauty has a lot of good ones, but there's so many different colors that like, I don't know which one would go best. So my next step in my makeup journey is a cream blush. So let me know your favorite. Now I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Primer, or setting powder. I'm sorry, not primer, setting powder. And just gonna pack this in underneath my eyes. All right, so main symptoms, side effects that I had getting off birth control. Number one, I did have hair loss. I started realizing that I had hair loss about 2 months after I got off, and that was a huge bummer. I am not gonna lie, you guys. The way my extensions are I keep hitting the desk, but the way my extensions are now was not necessarily the thickness, but the length of how my hair used to be. And my hair hasn't really been the same, which is okay. It happens because I'm much happier now than when I was on birth control. I will sacrifice that. So I had hair loss and I had pretty bad hormonal acne, all chin, cheeks, neck, all down here around my lips. Like it was all over here for about 6 to 8 months. Those were my main side effects of getting off birth control. I never had weight gain or weight loss when I got on. I never had weight fluctuations, with birth control. So getting off of it, I didn't like gain weight, I didn't lose weight. None of that happened to me. That was not like a side effect. I know that's like a huge question that a lot of people have. Didn't happen to me. The main two were that I broke out really badly. That was really tough to go through. That sucked. I'm not gonna lie. And then yeah, I had some hair loss, which also was not fun. And I want to let you guys know that when it comes to getting off birth control, just based off of my own experience, what I gathered is that, and from research I've done, it takes a long time, sis. It takes a long time for you to feel like yourself again, for your natural hormones to cycle in, for you to go through a full cycle of natural hormones. I mean, your body is so used to, I don't want to say like fake hormones, but hormones that you've been putting into your body. And now you're completely taking that out. And I was on it for like 6 or 7 years, 8. I can't do the math right now. So it takes a long time. And I didn't like get off the next day and I was like, wow, like I just feel so much better. I did feel better mentally because I finally could point blame to everything that was going on. Like when I tell you guys I was going nuts, like I really was going crazy. And I felt so defeated because I was like, this is not who I am. Like, this is not who I am. This is not how I feel. This is not how I've ever felt. Like, what is going on with me? And that's obviously when I came to the realization, thank God I did my research and kind of found out what was causing my issues. But I did feel better mentally the next day because I'm like, all right, I know that this is because of my birth control. And I'm also going to tell you that I did not consult with my doctor or gynecologist when getting off of birth control. One thing I do suggest, it's not the end of the world, but one thing I do suggest you do is talk to your doctor or gynecologist, do your research and do what's best for you. I didn't do that. I think they would suggest for you to finish the full package out. Don't just like stop in the middle or at the beginning like I did, and kind of figure out your own journey when it comes to that. So I'm not saying the way that I did it is right because it's probably not right, but I was just at a point where I had had enough. So where was I? Let's see. Circling back to my side effects. Yeah, so those were the two main side effects that I had. And those lasted, I want to say, about 8 months. Yeah, which is a long time. But out of the blue, one day I remember I had a week of like my skin being completely clear. Like I had no issues. I was like, wow, this is kind of weird. Like maybe it's just a good week. And from that week on, I have barely broken out since. My skin has never been this, okay, well, I have makeup on and I don't know if you guys can tell with the lighting, but my skin has never been this clear in my life. I do get zits occasionally still. I'll get like around my period, definitely I still get the occasional, pimple down here and stuff. But other than that, my skin's never been clear in my life. I did have to work through, a lot of stuff. I did switch up my skincare as well, switched to all CeraVe. I use all CeraVe and Laneige products. And that's pretty much it. So nothing crazy happened with, me switching up my skincare. Like I did shift it over a little bit, but it wasn't like I did this magical thing for my skin to be clear again. I think it was just my hormones finally settling out. But yeah, I did experience those two main side effects, which did suck a lot. And again, your side effects and your symptoms may be different, and that's okay. These are just kind of the ones that I experienced myself. So like I said, took about 6 to 8 months to kind of feel normal again. My mental health, it took a long time to kind of get back to the place. And I think the thing that I really struggled with, to be honest, you guys, was I was so self-conscious of my body down there. Like I was so afraid of, honestly, like I was so afraid of like being smelly again. Like that was so traumatizing and mortifying to go through. Bless Nash's heart for being a trooper. Like, he never made me feel bad about any of this. But for me, like, for the first time in my life, never felt comfortable down there. And so that took me a long time to get through. And I would say I'm still even working through that to this day. And I've been off for about 1.5 years now. Like, it took me a really long time. When I noticed my libido coming back was probably around the same time that I felt better mentally. So it took about like 6 to 8 months for me to start to try more and feel better, but it didn't happen overnight for me personally. And that was also something that was really tough, because obviously, like, I love my boo thing. I love Nash so much, but that was something that we had to go through together. And like I said, bless his heart for being such a trooper throughout all of this. But that was a huge experience for us, because I was like, okay, like, we're starting from square one here. Like, let's start over. Let's rebuild this whole thing back up. But it took me a long time. And it's like, it's not like, I don't want to say like I PTSD from it, but honestly, like, I still have times where like I am a little bit insecure down there, because I'm like, oh my God, like, what if? But it's gotten so much better, because my mental health has really gotten a lot better since then, as well. And I don't have super high highs. I don't have super low lows. I will say that when it comes to my cycle has changed since getting off. Like, I mean, I can't remember, you know, when I was like 14 having my period, besides the fact that I was really heavy. I never had really bad PMS. Like, I never experienced like super bad PMSing in high school. I had cramps for like an hour before I got my period, and it was like scheduled always. So now, off birth control, I have really bad PMS. I mean, like, pretty emotional before the week of my period, and I cramp now like so bad for like 2 days, and I've never had to deal with that before. First world problems. I'm really lucky, because I know some people have like super debilitating cramps and stuff. But yeah, that's something that's new for me. PMS is a lot worse. I am a lot more bloated. I just am like really, I experience everything now. But my flow is different, which is weird. I'm still heavy, but I'm heavy for about 1.5 days, and then I'm super light for like 1.5 days, and then it's done. Like, it really is like 4, maybe 5 days max, but my period used to be heavy flow for like 6 days. So that's different, which was definitely interesting. But yeah, other than that, I feel super amazing now. I would not have changed that experience ever. I do not regret going off of birth control, and to be quite frank with you guys, I do not plan on ever going back on. And hormonal birth control, I mean, because I obviously, as most of you know, which I will get into, I use non-hormonal birth control, which is called Natural Cycles, and I freaking love it. I would not change that for the world. So yeah, I don't plan on getting back on, not even trying copper. I'm not doing any of that. I'm at a point now in my life where I do not feel comfortable putting foreign objects or hormones into my body that don't really need to be there. And I've learned a lot through that experience of tracking my cycle, how powerful that can be. And before we get into that, I just want to finish up and kind of do like a little recap of coming off of it, because I know that may have been like a little sped through. But like I said, no weight fluctuations. I do PMS a lot more. My period has changed. It's become a little bit lighter. I had a little bit of hair loss, and I would say hair thinning. I don't want to go with hair loss. I didn't have bald spots. My hair just really thinned out. And then I suffered from hormonal acne for about 6 to 8 months, until my face has never been clearer since. So obviously that's just my timeline. My libido came back around 6 to 8 months, but it's something that I will say more realistically took me 1 year to really feel comfortable. But it may be different for other people, because it was more of my insecurities that I had to work through down there to feel comfortable with my own body again, which took about 1 year. So those are kind of like, long story short, kind of the recap of coming off of birth control. Anybody get like eye bogeys when they start doing their makeup? Like, why does that happen? Okay, now let's get into non-hormonal birth control, sis. So as you guys know, I use natural cycles, but I did not do anything for about 6 months after. I just used protection with Nash on his end, and that was pretty much it. We always pull out no matter what. There is absolutely no exception to that. And that's pretty much what we did. So I didn't track anything. Oh, and also getting off of birth control, I had my cycle, like I got my period the next month. So for me, I know a lot of people have inconsistent cycles, but my period has come every single month since getting off. So that's just my own thing there. But I didn't track, I didn't really do anything until I downloaded Flow. I used that app for about 2 months and I liked it, but it didn't work well for me because it was very off on the tracking and it was off on my, like, you know, not that I knew when I was ovulating at the time, but it was off on like when my period would start by like a week. Like it was just very, very, very inconsistent. And so, yeah, that was kind of annoying. Then I tried natural cycles, the holy mother freaking grail. And that's what I've been using for the past, 7 months. And she's amazing. We love her. And basically what Natural Cycles is, it's the first birth control app in the United States. And it's CE marked in Europe. And it is FDA cleared here in the US. It is not FDA approved, but it is FDA cleared, which is pretty awesome. Now, when it comes to tracking your cycle, there is, my opinion, okay, there is nothing more powerful that you can do as a woman than to track your own cycle. When I tell you that tracking my cycle has taught me so much about my body. I have never been, like, my body and I are now, like, I know my body to a T. We are BFFs. I know every signal that my body is giving me, what it means, what time of the month. Like, I know everything about my body now, and it's been an incredible journey to be able to be kind of like powerful. You know, it's really powerful as a woman to be able to know your own cycle and to be able to track it and know that when your body is feeling a certain way or looks a certain way, that it means something, you know? And it's been an amazing experience. So I take my temperature every morning with a basal thermometer, and then I put it into the app, Natural Cycles, and it comes up with a daily fertility status for me. And it comes up with either a green dot or a red dot. Red day. And a red day means that you are fertile and you need to use protection if you are going to be sexually active. A green dot means you don't need to use protection, you are good to go. For me, I obviously always say, like, use protection no matter what, but I do trust the green days, because the thing about tracking your cycle is that you are only fertile during a certain time of the month. Little lesson here from the research I've done. You're only fertile during a certain window, and that's when you ovulate. And you're fertile about like 3 days before and up to like 48 hours after you ovulate. And like pretty much I would give it like a whole week. And you can only get pregnant during that time, except the crossover is that sperm can live inside of you for up to like 3, 4, 5 days. So if you overlap, 5th, 6th day with sperm living inside you and you're more fertile, excuse me, that is kind of where the crossover can happen, and why people maybe say like they get pregnant on their period, or, all these different things, because you cannot get pregnant if the egg is not there. You can't fertilize. There's no egg to fertilize. You can't get pregnant. So a little lesson there. You cannot get pregnant at any time, but there is a lot of gray areas with that kind of. So, and everyone's different. So I also track my ovulation. There are ovulation strips that you just kind of do a little pee test. You kind of dip a little tab into your pee in a cup, and it shows whether you're ovulating or not. And it is so accurate, you guys. Like, it tells me I'm ovulating on this day. I have the ovulation strips and the test. I take the test and it shows to a T that I'm ovulating, exact date. It is right spot on with my period and everything like that. And it's been amazing. And I've learned so much. And also, one thing that's been amazing that I wish was more talked about is that Nash and I, our relationship is so much better because he is also in tune with my cycle as well. So he knows all the different phases of like the luteal phase, the follicular phase, like all the different phases of the cycle. Like, he is so in tune with that. And he knows as well different like signs of, you know, me maybe being a little bit more irritable, me being more emotional, me being kind of like happy on a high, like all the different emotions that you experience that are natural during your whole entire cycle. He is so in tune with that. And I also communicate that with him. I let him know and be like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm going to start PMSing soon. So if I like get a little angry, if I'm really emotional, like just know that it's coming. Like I tell him that. I literally communicate that to him. He's like, got it, got you, we're all good to go. So we're really in tune together, and it's been such an incredible experience because we are so close and so bonded now. And I feel like that's something that needs to be talked about more is, and you know, it doesn't even have to be like your significant other. You know, obviously share that with them if you want to, but you know, your best friends, maybe your mom, like, I don't know, your sister, whoever you live with, just to let them know, like, what is going on has helped me a lot. Hopefully the makeup has been like easy to follow. Like, did you guys know what I was doing? Oh God, I really hope that, I hope that you guys followed kind of what I was doing. But we're at lips now. Like we're almost done with this makeup routine, and we still got stuff to chat about. So don't you even worry about that. I need to sharpen Miss Pillow Talk Ma'am over here. So this is the liner that I use. So basic, so basic. And I know how basic it is, but she's like a universal lip color, like gorgeous. So I'm just gonna sharpen her really quickly. So I go in and line my lips. I'm gonna show you my lip combo that I've been doing recently that a lot of you guys have been commenting on that you guys really like. And if you want to look like, okay, yes, I have lip filler, but if you want to look like you have lip filler without having lip filler, this is for you. So I go and line my lips with Pillow Talk. I will kind of, I don't know how people just do the sweeping all around. Let me know. So I will kind of like overline. I don't know if you guys can tell. I will overline a little bit on the top. Also, have you guys been watching Ultimatum? Hi. The Ultimatum? Craziest show. Craziest show. It's like the most trashy, cheesy show that I will not stop watching and had to stay up all night to finish. Although I haven't seen the reunion yet, so don't say anything. So I'll overline a little bit on top as you can. Look at that, you guys. Like I said, I know I have lip filler, but it makes your lips look so much bigger than they are. And if you like that look like me, you need to try it. And then I'll just kind of go a little bit like down underneath here. I'll like overline just down here and then bring it back up into the corner. Gorgeous. How do people do this and look good? So line my lips with that. Stop. It's so good. We love you, Charlotte. We love you, Charlotte Tilbury. And then this is the creme de la creme. This is like the prize jewel. If there's one thing that you need to get for a lip color, it's this Nars Bad Girl Velvet Matte Lip Pencil. It is literally like a thickle pencil. This color is gorgeous. It's almost like identical to Pillow Talk. Is a little bit more pinky. Oh, can you guys tell? Pillow Talk's a little bit more pinky. This is a little bit more brown, but they work so well together. So I will just slap that on here. Ow, I need to sharpen this. All right. Lips, yes. And then depending on how I'm feeling, I will put on a little bit of the Anastasia gloss, or I will do like a lip plumper. But I've been really kind of liking this matte look, but now I feel like I should just like, where am I going? Nowhere. So I'm just gonna put just like, do I like that? Just adds like a little bit of sparkle. I don't know. All right. And I would spray usually now with Urban Decay All Nighter. I would spray it all over my face, but like I'm not really going anywhere, so it doesn't need to really stay on. But this, before we get back into chatting, oh, hi hair, this is the full Glam. This is what I do for going out. Depending on like how hard I'm going out, I'll add a little bit more shadow and stuff. The colors that I use this color as a base. I used a little bit of this one, some of the pink there, and then I kind of go in with the darker shade as well if I wanted to do like more of a smoky eye, which I don't even know like how to do that, but I try. So yeah, this is the full Glam. We love her. Okay, so now let's get back to chit-chatting. All right, it is time to get a little comfy here. Oh, hi. I hope that you guys really liked my really aesthetic background here. This is where I get ready every day. This is like my desk, my office, and stuff like that. So I was just taking you guys along here. But I wanted to chat just to kind of finish up this video and wrap it up a little bit. I don't want to, you know, scare anybody off from getting off birth control, you know, for getting, like, if it works for you, sis, keep using it. Like, I'm honestly jealous in a sense, because I'm like, dang, like, I wish it worked for me, but it didn't, and it opened a new door for me to really get to know my body. And I will tell you that this has hands down, my experience has hands down been the most empowering and uplifting experience and best decision of my life. Like, genuinely, it sounds like very exaggerated and philosophical, but like, genuinely getting to know my cycle, getting to know my body and my emotions and my hormones. Like I told you earlier, like, my body and I are besties now. Like, I know my body to a freaking T, and it's been the most incredible experience to go through. And I wish that we as women were informed more about our cycles, because they impact literally everything in our life. Like, every different phase that you go through in your cycle, you experience different emotions, you have different hormones pumping, you have different cravings, you have different like physical things that go on. Like, we're never taught about that, and it's such a huge bummer, because it is so important to know all of these different things. Like, I know when I'm more bloated what's going on, I know when I'm breaking out what's going on, I know when I'm way more emotional what's going on. And one thing I do want to kind of just cover really quickly is that Nash, my boyfriend, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm just throwing his name like you guys know him, but my boyfriend, who I've been dating for almost 3.5 years now, oh my God, has been so incredible throughout this journey. But it's something that we went through together, and I was very, very open and honest with everything that I was experiencing. We had a lot of tough conversations as a young couple together. And, you know, I basically had to sit him down and be like, listen, like, I have no sex drive. I am not attracted to you. I am not attracted to myself. Like, I don't want to do anything to myself. I don't want to do anything to you. Like, I don't know what's going on, but something is wrong with me. It has nothing to do with you though, but I need your help. I need your help with this. And he heard me loud and clear. He was like, I got you. Like, I'm here for you, whatever you need. Like, he was just the perfect boyfriend to go through this experience. Like, he was literally amazing. But having that conversation with your significant other is so difficult, because a lot of, you know, I only am speaking on this and saying men, because I am only attracted to men, but a lot of men take that the wrong way. A lot of other people on the other end take that the wrong way, and they think it's something to do with them, and it's not. You know, it has everything to do with you. And him being able to listen to me about that and really kind of get through this experience with me is huge. And now, this is where I was circling around to really with that whole little rant, is that we both know my cycle. Like, he knows all the different phases, like the follicular phase, like all of the different phases of like a cycle. He is so in tune with what is going on with my body, and I will also let him know, because I know my body really well. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be PMSing soon. Like, I'm probably gonna be very emotionally triggered and cry this week a lot, because I'm pretty emotional during like when I'm PMSing. And so I'll let him know, and I'll be like, hey Nash, I just want you to know, like, I'm gonna be PMS. It looks like I'm gonna be PMSing this next week. Like, you know, I'm probably gonna be more emotional, and if I have outbursts or anything, just know that like, you did nothing wrong, like, you're fine. And he's like, okay, cool, like, I got you. But being able to vocalize that and him know that, like, he knows that. And that is such a huge thing, I feel like, with relationships, that a lot of people don't go through or experience or talk about. Like, it's not just a womanly thing, it's a two-person thing to go through, and to know your own cycle as a woman. And like I said, it's very powerful. It's very uplifting. It also explains a lot of different things that go on with your body, and how important it is to really know your cycle. I think the most important thing to know as a woman is your cycle, because it affects literally everything. I'm like so sad to be ending this conversation. Like I want to chat with you guys forever. Like this was really fun for me to film. And honestly, I kind of like put off this video. I was like kind of dreading talking about it, but and I don't know why. I feel like bringing up those feelings and those past experiences were super difficult for me to talk about, because it's not embarrassing. It's just like it was just a lot. It was a lot to go through and a lot to experience, and I did it all on my own. I experienced all of this on my own. I didn't know anybody who went through stuff like this. I felt like not alone in my, you know, coming off birth control experience, but I felt like I couldn't relate to anybody because nobody talked about it. And that's why I'm really glad that I'm able to share my story with you guys, because I know that my story resonated with a lot of people. I mean, my most viral TikToks are like, well, you know, seen TikToks are talking about birth control and relationships, which is so funny. But my most viral TikTok was talking about my birth control story, doing my makeup, which is so funny. But it really, I feel like, opened up a huge conversation. I mean, the outpouring of DMs that I got, the comments, the conversations in the comments were incredible. Like I just got goosebumps. Like it was so, you know, and I know other people have talked about birth control too. I'm not saying like I'm the only one to open this door, but I opened a door for a corner of the internet, and it was just seriously incredible to watch, to be able to, you know, have women reach out to me and open up to me and share their story, and to be like, oh my God, I felt so alone. Like I thought I was the only one that went through this. And that's why I did this. That's why I'm doing this video today. And that's why I will always continue to talk about my journey, my story, and everything like that, because I know that some women, it will at least resonate with somebody, and to know that you are not alone with feeling these different feelings. And I think the hardest part for a lot of people goes back to losing your sex drive. Is so, like, it's so confusing and defeating, and you feel helpless, and it's a really hard thing to go through as a young woman, and I'm sure as a young man too, but obviously I'm speaking on this as a young woman. It is so difficult to experience that. And I know that so many of the DMs I got was talking about, you know, low libido and everything like that. And you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Everything is going to be okay. Take a breath. Your journey is your journey. And, you know, if you decide to get off birth control, like I said, always do your research, consult your doctor, do what's best for you. But whatever side effects, whatever symptoms, whatever hormones are pumping through, whatever is going on with you, with your body and everything, just know that you are not alone. And I can promise you that. To kind of finalize everything, first of all, thank you so much for sticking through this whole video. Thank you for listening to me ramble on while having me do my makeup to go absolutely nowhere besides to hang out with my boo-boo. But thank you so much for watching all of this video. Thank you for sticking along with me, and thank you for allowing me to share my birth control story with you guys. I hope that, you know, you took away maybe a few things, whether it's makeup or birth control or whatever it is, but that is my full birth control story. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was very fun for me to film. I'm really sad to say bye. Like, you guys are like my besties. I like hanging out with you guys. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.